workout today is with the Theraband, a doorknob, a mat, and just you. So what I've done with my Theraband is I've tied it around the doorknob, and I just did that because I've had it snap back at me and it's not cute. So just make a simple tie one time, knot it, and then we're going to start sitting facing the door with your feet against the wall. So I will have my back to you, but you'll be able to see what's happening here as we roll down and roll back up. So let's start holding somewhere in the middle of the band. The lower you hold, the less resistance. The higher you hold, it's more resistance. So I'm going to find a happy medium, and I'm going to make sure that I'm nice and even with the door and centered as I slowly roll back, curling my tailbone underneath me, go down head, neck, and shoulders, and then we very slowly let this support pull you up, but use your abs. At the top, do a single arm press down and up. And again, we're going to slowly curl the tailbone underneath you, feel your middle back, upper back, shoulders, head and neck drops. Inhale. Now exhale, curl back up again. And then this time what we do is we'll pull down 2 times. And slowly roll back down. Nice and easy. You want to try to touch every vertebra down at a time so that you're really moving slowly and not missing any part of your back. Your third one, we'll do 3 presses. 1 and 2 and 3 and lowering back down. I'm trying to lengthen my legs. They will leave the wall, just so you know. And curling back up right there. I feel my ribs, my legs are lengthening, and I'm going to slowly curl up, and we do 4 presses and 2 and 3 and 4. So if you're holding higher up on your band, that is going to make the ab part easier, but the arm part harder. So take your pick which one you want, and you'll go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now pull down. I'm going to grip up a little higher. Pull down and start to curl back halfway. At the halfway point, I'm just going to row my arms wide to the sides and return. I'm the entire time using my low belly muscles to support me. If for any reason this hurts your low back, you'll curl up a little bit, or you can just simply bend your knees and just find a happy place for your back and for your neck. For me personally, I'm going to keep my legs straight, and I'm just going to row 10 times. And keep focusing on scooping your belly. Think of the thighs lengthening away from your rib cage. And I totally lost count, so let's just say this is 10. Now with a wide elbow, I'm going to pull my elbows apart and just pulse. And 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straighten your arms. Slowly lower down to your mat. Let your head, neck, and shoulder drop. And now with your head down, just alternate between pressing the band down to the floor and then pulling with wide elbows. And we press down and elbows wide. And just keep repeating that, focusing on your chest opening up, your neck and head is totally relaxed, and you're just pulling your arms in and down. And we keep doing those for 6 more sets. Really try to connect your rib cage so that your back isn't arching and you're not popping up. Just nice and easy, wide, and feel those elbows pulling apart. Feel your ribs and your shoulders back. Press down, get that tricep engagement. We have last 2 and final set. And now I'm going to peel up again, nice and slow. So just my head lifts up, my ribs are pulling back, and then I'm going to come up to the halfway point. And again, halfway for you might be knees bent, it might not be. And in that halfway, pull in and down. Same thing that you just did when you were lying down, but curl up. And this way, if you're actively engaging those ab muscles, you will feel all of this. And we have 3 more of both the down and in. Remember, what's comfortable for you. And last one. And now just hang forward. Let your head be heavy and just pull down on the band to get a stretch. We're gonna sit back up. Now, you may have handles at the end of yours. You may also get, like your hands could get a little grippy, so feel free to wrap it around one time. And what we're going to do is just twist, pull your shoulder blade down, come back up. And as I'm twisting, I'm working on lengthening my legs away from me. So I'm going to just twist, lowering down, and back up. So I'm trying not to let my hips shift side to side as this happens. And twist. And you really want to feel that rotation coming from your rib cage, and the band is just helping you on your way back up. And we do just a few more times each side. Feeling those ribs rotating, feeling those legs long. Make sure your back is not arching. You want to curl the tailbone underneath you, lengthen the leg away from you. And again, lengthen the leg, look over your shoulder, come back up. My head stays looking straight out. I'm not letting it go back in space. And now I'm going to turn. This time, instead of lowering to my shoulder, I'm going to find a happy place and just row my arm back on that side, paying attention to my legs staying parallel. I don't want to see hips wonking out to the sides. So we pull. And you can add a little twist as you do this so you get that extra oblique. And same thing here, if your back hurts at all, you come up a little higher. And we keep pulling the elbow and the waist. Elbow and the waist. Keep wringing out that rib cage. Last couple of these. And then you can come up to the center, stretch for a second, then go right into the other side. And you wring it out, pull, and pull. And these feel really good on those obliques. I mean, if you like the way your obliques feel, I do. Make sure the elbow goes open and center, open. And let's try to twist the rib cage even more. So it's not just the elbow pulling, it's the ribs at the same time. And we twist. And twist, and twist, and twist. And I'm just going to stay there and try to twist even more and do a little bit less of the arm going forward and back, focusing more on the ribs. For 3, for 2, and 1, stretching again, holding it there. Deep breath in and out. And now we're going to alternate sides. So we're just going to go twist and twist. I'm just touching my elbows down. And again, this is one of those ones you can bend your knees if it feels better on your back. And if not, go to the straight leg. I'm good with either option. But I do want you to feel the ribs rotate you back, then the elbow comes down. Just keep rotating and breathing in and breathing out. And breathing in and breathing out. Final set, breathing in and breathing out. And then we're going to slowly stretch forward and sit back up. Now, I'm going to take the band in both hands here, and I'm going to put my feet against the wall. So this can be a little tricky. A lot of people don't have lateral strength in their body. So I am going to use the wall. I'm going to put my bottom leg under, right at the base of the floor, and I'm going to put my top leg up a little bit. And then what we're going to do is just really hold this band tight. So it's going to help you, and you're just going to lift and lower. Push that top leg into the door, and my legs are not, they're slightly in front of me as I do this. Now, you may not be able to do this, so if you're having troubles getting up, here are some options. Option A, hold up higher. You can bend your knees if you need to, and just do little lifts. That's not the best way to do it. I really like to use my legs for the leverage here, so just push into the wall tall, and maybe you'll want to take your foot up a little higher. And then you can't see this, but in my door, I can see the cat trying to get to my feet. And we're just going to do 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, so those are super challenging. You may not be able to get up, like I said, so you can modify any way you want to. Second side, remember, I'm gripping high. I have my bottom leg down on the floor, my top leg is higher, and I almost feel like I'm gonna pull up on the band to help lift me. Instead of thinking of pulling it into you, pull up on it. So we'll do the same thing. We're not gonna do too many because this for most people is super challenging to do. And when you're on the Pilates equipment, you have double springs versus just having a Theraband that may be a little bit light. So I totally get it. 4 more. 3, and 2, and 1, and good. Come on up. All right, we're gonna go into a kneeling position here. And take your band, feet are against the wall, and just grab it pretty high. And I want you to think about this much like you do on your Pilates equipment. So we're gonna draw our shoulders down and just take our arms out to the sides. Now you can see the band is side of me. It's not hitting my arms, it's out. And then I lower. So I pull my shoulders down, my hips are forward, my abs engage, and I reach out and in. And in fact, I want more resistance for me, so I'm gonna go just a little bit higher up here as I draw the shoulders down, lift my sternum, and reach and lower. And again, shoulders down, hips forward, reach and lower. And it actually is a nice way to feel your lats working, feel your arms working. It's all kinds of good. And we'll just keep going up and out and down. Up and out and down. The key for all of this is each time draw those arms down to press up. And I wouldn't necessarily say lock your shoulders because that's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to reach out from your back and reach. Now we're going to stay in that reach and just pulse the arms. And just keep pulling forward on the arms, forward and together. But you'll feel as you're pulling your arms forward and together, your body is going to want to almost fall forward into it, but you need to use your abs, your hamstrings and glutes as well to keep you a little bit more vertical. And we're just going to keep pulsing those arms for 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower them down. Now we're going to go into a full circle here. So we go down, we take the arms up, and circle down and around. Again, so similar to if you were doing kneeling arms on your reformer. And you may just have to modify your range. So here I am, I'm going to come up. I'm not going to hyperextend my arms. I'm going to keep them slightly in front of me. And then I keep the tension as I circle open and around. So I'm never losing the tension in this strap as I do this. And again, you're going to hope that your band has some life in it and it doesn't snap on you as this happens. I have faith, but you know, nobody knows what's going to happen with a Theraband on any given day. And let's do a couple more circles here. And this is nice for your shoulders. Okay, then I'm going to stop at the halfway point. Press into the strap so you're kind of reaching forward here. I'm going to lean ever so slightly forward. Again, my abs are still engaged, and I'm just going to do fast, tiny little circles here. And I'm not going to count. I'm just going to do them and fatigue my arms. Now, if this hurts your knees, feel free to adjust your positions any way that makes you feel better, but keep pushing into this strap as it circles around. And if you don't have enough resistance because your band is light, go forward, move your body away from the door, and then we're reversing. Well, I don't know if you are, but I am in the moment reversing. And I'm just going to keep those fast little circles going, pushing into the strap even more. And those should start to burn, and if they don't, let me know. And, whew, all right. Just take a second. Let's let that bar go, let the band go. Let's just take your fingers down to the floor and just sit back. Give your fingers a stretch. Definitely when you do Theraband workouts, when your Therabands don't have a handle, you get a little bit of rigor mortis going on in your fingers. So it's okay to take pauses and let your fingers have a moment where they get their life back in them, so to speak. All right, so we're gonna come back up on, so you come back up on your knees, and you're going to have your feet against the door, if you can. Elbows are right around the height of the shoulder, and we're just going to start with tricep presses out. My band has shot out before, so I'm just making sure that it stays put in that doorknob. And so you could lean forward a little bit more if you're not worried that yours is gonna fly. Otherwise, you may wanna just hold on a little tighter so that you can control it, but let's keep those elbows in that same position as we go out and in. And again, out and in. And let's just keep doing those so that we feel that burn in the triceps. Try to resist in each direction, both out and in, so that the in isn't just a fast rebound. It's a resist to come back and a pull resist on each direction. And these just really will get that tricep burning, and God knows we do not want to have those flabby arms in case we ever get to actually be out for summertime. All right, now I'm going to keep him out and do little fast pulses as I press and press. My elbows are staying at that same height, and this should burn. Engage your abs, pull your hips forward, shoulders back, and just breathe. And 8 more. Just small. A lot of impact there. Okay, now I am going to drop one side, but I'm going to hold it down, and then I'm going to slightly lean and do single triceps here. And I'm holding that opposite side down because I know what can happen. And just keep pulling and pulling. And these are already firing up, and I hope they are for you as well. You're going to want to really feel this in here, so just keep going and breathing. And let's do our fast pulses. All right, let's do 10 more. Just tiny and fast. Okay, 3, 2, and 1. So reach down on the other side, up on this side. I'm, like I said, pulling it down for stability so it doesn't come flying back on me. And we go out and in, and out and in. Now, mind you, this cat behind me has been wanting to be in here, and then I let him out, then he wants to be in here and I let him out, so he may become a part of this workout, or I may potentially be in danger. Yeah, I think I'm in danger. That is not nice. All right, now we're gonna do those fast pulses. Out and out and out, just nice and easy. I mean, it's not easy if you're fearing for your life that you're going to get bit by a cat while you're doing these. But life is an adventure. All right, I stopped counting because I got scared. All right, and let's do 5, 4, 3, and 2, and oh my God, 1. Whew. Okay, so now let's stand up for a second and let's do rotator cuffs. So I'm gonna stand not too far away from the door. You can see that my elbow is against my sides, and I'm trying to stand up tall, engaging the abs, and my gaze is straight ahead, and I just pull, and then resist as you come back in, and pull. And that rotator cuff is a tricky little one. A lot of us have issues, and we need to strengthen that, because this this is where you throw your purse into the back of your car, you take your groceries and put them up, and next thing you know, sorry shoulder, there you go. So you can hold further to the end or closer in depending on how much resistance you personally want. Do what feels right to you because these fatigue easily. So I am going to suggest that we do 20, which means that we have 10 more. And continue to get that elbow into your waist. And make sure your neck isn't gripping. Shake it out if you need to. And last 2. All right, now I'm just going to turn around. You can use that same side of the band. It really actually doesn't matter. Pull your abs in so you're standing tall. Feel your legs in the ground. Elbow is actively against your side. And you just go out and out. Now again, I'm keeping my head up, gazing forward. And we just keep going. Really feel that shoulder open as you pull, and then let the wrist come back. So it's not a throwaway fast move. It is definitely one where you want to feel the stability here. Then open that shoulder and squeeze. And I'm gonna, like I said, do 20 on each side. So let's do 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. That is a lot of work. All right, so now I am going to, again, since I'm up against the door, I have one leg forward, one heel is up, and I'm in a lunge, or a very narrow-based lunge. I'm going to drop down here, okay? And then from here, I'm just going to take my arms out, and I'm going to punch and punch, punch. Now the challenge is as you're doing this, you're in this lunge, your back heel is up against the door frame, right? So it's super easy to fall one way or the other. So you want to make sure that that front leg is really rooted down as you do these punches. And your legs will start to burn as they're stabilizing you here. And we just keep punching. And now one more punch on each arm, and then we're going to lower that lunge as we punch both arms. So we're going to lower and lift. You don't have to lower to the floor. Your back heel is pushing into your door frame, so you'll probably be limited by a couple things. One is the flexibility of your ankle, and 2 is obviously the balance, because if your ankle isn't stable on the back side, you won't be able to go very far. So we're just going to focus on those small moves, feeling your feet underneath you, feeling the arms, feeling the quad on the front side, and hamstrings and glutes. And we'll do 2 more. All right, easy. Just switch sides. So, like I said, the back heel is up and the front knee is bent. We're not in too wide of a stance here. And we're going to drop down. Again, fairly narrow lunge so we have the support. And we'll go back to the single arms, just punching one arm and then the other. I can hear my band doing some movement over there. Hopefully it's not going to come flying out at me. Hoping for the best. The key is really just to find the inside of that support leg though as you do this so that you don't go flying to one side or the other. And just keep punching. The band is staying behind me and underneath my armpit. Okay, now I'm going to do both arms and lower into that lunge and up. And remember, you don't have to go down to the floor. And because that back heel is flexed upwards, you may find that your ankles aren't as stable and it would be really easy to go flying, which we don't want for obvious reasons. And just a couple more. And good. Okay, good. So from here, what I'm going to gonna do is take my band, and now instead of having it looped right at the door, well, it is still gonna be at the door, let me rephrase that. You are gonna just take it off for a second, and then we're gonna make the knot at the bottom end of this. And hopefully your band will be super easy to make this adjustment. So you wrap it around, you make a knot at the end, and then just tie it. And it should hopefully be the opposite. You're going to lie on the floor once you have it in a knot. Hold onto it with both hands pulling down. Take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, bring both knees up to the band, and then very slowly lower back down. Now my band is not very long, but I definitely feel the upper abs stabilizing me as I do this. And we pull. My head is down the whole time because the pulling into the band will activate the abs. And now you didn't necessarily need to tie it in this knot at the bottom. You could have kept it the way it was, but I'll show you why I like this setup for doing a few other things. So what we'll do here is just pull it down, put one heel in, and then just take the other leg out. All right, now what you're gonna do is stabilize this side, push it down, and then lift the other leg up and lower it back down. So what I'm trying to do here is pull down, fix this thigh bone in space, and by fixing it down, it's going to make me work my abs a little harder here. And we're gonna do several more. So again, this is just stable and it's grounding me on the support side. And you can use your hands if you need to just kind of hold it. You'll feel your hamstrings working to ground you down as the opposite leg lifts up. And we have one more time. Then you'll bend this knee. Now push down into that side that has the loop, lift your hips up, very slowly lower back down. So again, what you're doing is by pushing down here, you're activating that hamstring up, and then very slowly lowering back down. And again, we're going to lift up and down. And this should really be firing up that back side of your body. Hopefully it is. And we'll do 5 more. And 4, keep pushing, stay nice and stable here. By pushing down, you're definitely gonna feel like if you had been on the ground with your foot, only this resistance is nice and intense. And it should just constantly be working this side. And then we have one more time. And then we're gonna go back into grabbing that band, pulling down on it, and then we bring our knees to a tabletop here. All right, now this time what we're going to do is extend both legs away from you, pulling down into the band and in. So by pulling down, you're activating that upper abs, core muscles, shoulder girdle, everything. And it'll help you feel your stomach muscles work and slow you down a little bit. Keep pulling into that band and pulling, so I never lose that tension through the arms, and I feel my upper abs in my back. And I have one more of these. Okay, now pull down on your band enough so that you can get your heel to rest in it. Now, you press through your heel, you're fixing your hamstring, the other leg goes out. So this will help you stay stable to lift this leg up and lower it back down. And up and lower it back down. The more you fix this thigh, the more you're going to work the opposite side of your body to do this. And this should start to feel intense on that hamstring. And don't worry, you will not lose your band. But just keep pushing this into the floor. And 3 more times. And 2. And 1. Now let's bend that knee, stay stable here, and just push up into the bridge, fixing that hamstring in space, and lowering back down. And again, we're going to fix that hamstring and lower back down. And just continue to rise up on that foot and hip and whole side of your body and lower. You can see that the side that's pushing into the band has not changed at all. The hamstring is going to fatigue because it is in a contraction the entire time. And I'm not concerned about lifting too high on my support side. I'm focusing on the hamstring, staying stable as though I were pushing into the ground, although my leg is in the air. And we have last 2. And we have last 1. Now, keeping the band like that, I want you to go into a diamond shape here. Press down, curl your upper body up and lower, and curl your upper body up. So think of these as if you were on a reformer carriage, this would be like doing your frog bends or diamonds. And good. Now, this may be a little challenging, but I have my hands against the wall. I'm going to push my legs into the straps and just elevate my hips slightly off the ground and lower. So, hands at the wall. Press through your legs. Now stabilize them. Coccyx curl. As you coccyx curl, push your hands back into the wall. Lift, just hovering off the ground, and lower. And again, press, lift, hover, and lower. Now you may not get up very high. You may not push down very low. We're just trying to lift ever so slightly and traction those hips out and away from you. And 4 more. Lift. Now if you can't lift, just push the legs out, press your hands against the wall, and just ever so slightly elevate the pelvic floor. So we go up and down, and last 2. And that should feel very intense. Last 1. Now, bend your knees back into the diamond shape. Grab this, take your hands and hold the band, and then since you're lying on your back, you can undo that knot real quickly, or not. It should be a fairly quick transition. So I'm just going to sit up and untie it. Ta-da. Like I said, it's pretty quick. And then let's just do one more time, tying this up against the doorknob. And you're in the home stretch. Not that we stretched in this at all, but anyways. Okay, I'm going back to kneeling here. And I'm gonna just change my arm so my elbow is wide. And then I'm weight bearing, but not too intensely. I'm just going to extend out and back. So you'll feel the shoulders working. It's just a nice way to do a 4-point, to open up the chest again, to reconnect, because sometimes lying on your back makes your neck get tight. And let's keep doing these 6 more times. Keep pushing away from the door. We're almost there. All right, now we're going to take our other arm, same thing, just find the band, find the support. Oh, just had to check it out just in case. So we're here and we push and back. And you're not overweighting the support arm, just so you know. Ordinarily you might feel like you are, but the band is going to help you lift up and away from just another moment, as it's really good on those shoulders. And I'm going to do last two. And one. Okay, now that you're in this position, your feet are against the door. What I want you to do is push yourself into a downward dog. So, stretch it out. Hold it there for a moment. Lift your heels up, come right back down. Okay, so grab the band again. This time, what I want you to do is in your kneeling, you do your tricep presses. And you just keep pulling it over your head because you can't do too many triceps. You know how that can be. And hopefully your support arm doesn't feel like your wrist is overwhelmed by this exercise. Now keep this arm out. I want you to bend and straighten, back and front. Tricep, it's very modified. Bend and straighten. And that should pretty well take care of your triceps for today. If they hadn't felt like they'd been working hard enough, this should take care of it. So, lower, keeping that elbow close to your sides, lift, bend and straighten. And we have one more. And bend and straighten. All right, second side, here we go. Grab it, hand is here. Again, the double check. And we reach out. My arm is already shaky from doing that tricep push-up. Good. Just keep doing these. You may not be able to feel your arms tomorrow, but that's okay. And just keep resisting in both directions. If this bothers your wrist, you're welcome to make a fist for right now. And ready to add on and do our little push-up. So here it goes. You go down and up, back and straighten. Down and up, back and straighten. So that elbow stays close to your sides. This arm is still in resistance. I'm not even going to talk through this one, so just let it resist, push it front, and resist. And we are just going to do 3 more times. If you can, do your best. Get that elbow down and back, push up away from it. Final one. And, whew, all right. Now, just sit down and let's do a mermaid to finish. So, we're going to sit with your feet, your knees are bent, you're facing the side wall, and I am just going to hold the top in my outside hand, the bottom in my inside hand, and I'm just going to lean and stretch into my arm. So as I'm stretching, this is pulling me backwards through my shoulder. And again, I'm just leaning. You can see it's a big shoulder stretch. And last one. Okay, now twist your body here. And then lean and pull the back arm. Twist your body, feel the chest opening, you can lean into it a little, and then you pull and stretch over. So it is a lot on your shoulders, and again, my band is short, so, you know, you do what feels best for you, but this right here, that expansion in your chest, leaning forward, should feel really nice. And leaning into it. And I'm going to do just one more time, leaning into it, and then just a very simple turn around, top arm on one side, bottom on the other, and I'm just leaning here. And then this is that extra stretch for the shoulder. And I'm gonna tighten up my grip a little bit so I can get more pull in this direction. I'm gonna lean into it. And then let it pull back and just stretch towards the door. Pull, the arm is long, you're reaching your rib cage out towards your hand, and you come back. And again, it's delicious, and back. I mean, I feel like there's a million, billion mermaid versions that can be done, and all are so delightful. Okay, now this, oh, so tight. And then stretch back over. Now, open, let your chest lean through your arms, and go back over. And again, open, really get that stretch. Now for me, I am super tight on my top side, so I may not go back as much, and you may find that you can't do that range, which is totally fine. You may just have to keep your hand behind your head and bend and go like this. But if you can get the full range, get the full range. Do what is best on your body, and you have one more time. Okay, let's finish back to where we started, but what we're gonna do is with bent knees. So, slowly lowering down through your spine, head is heavy, the legs are gonna come up, and you're just going to curl up to your legs, slowly lower back down, and again, curl and lower and curl. You don't have to go all the way down, you can just go to your shoulders. You could keep your knees bent and go in this range. Whatever feels good. 3 more times. And then we come up, stretch to your toes, let go of your band, stretch out your arms, lift your chest up. And then I'm just gonna suggest one last little stretch for your fingers, because definitely gripping that band is so much work, but overall you did a great job. I hope it felt good for you.